It's such an elegant and defined, kind of orientation as you use it. And Commissioner May, as you talked about people leaving, you arrive there and then like, where do I go? I don't really want to go back because I just experienced the way you're supposed to go, which is to go in. And so this kind of release to be able to go to either side is going to be a really nice and welcome thing. And of course, we want to welcome people coming from Ash Road and Independence Avenue also into this. So overall, I think these are minor things that you all can easily address. I just want to make sure we reinforce those points so we see it back again. Thank you. Any other comments or questions? All right. So is there a motion to approve the
I did have
Commissioner
one
Wright.
question.
She thinks best when she's typing.
No, I had a question about this letter from Mr. Barker about the inaccuracy of the names, which is one of the things that's a problem with these walls. He claims that there's over 1,000 errors, and that the number of names is wrong and so forth. So I'm assuming that is going to be resolved. Should I assume that?
Ma'am, my name's Colonel Richard Dean. I'm the Vice Chairman of the Korean War Veterans Memorial Foundation. The way the law is written is the names that are going to be inscribed on this wall have to be provided by the Department of Interior to our foundation, and they get it from the Department of Defense. It's up to the Department of Defense to provide the names to us. And the Barker brothers have the opportunity of providing that data if they want to release it to the Department of Defense, but right now they want to be paid for that data. And I'll leave it at that.
Oh. This is a shakedown?
Could be.
Kinda? Oh, wow. Well, I'm glad I asked.
They've spent about 50 years with this database, and their life is built into this database they have. They want to be paid for it. I'll leave it at that.
Okay, so, but since no one's going to, I mean, the drama and intrigue notwithstanding.
Can't resist.
This is part of the problem with an undertaking this
So
is the accuracy, and literally it'll be set in stone. So if the Barker brothers are trying to get paid for it, well, okay, that's one thing, but how will DOD and Interior collaborate to ensure accuracy without the participation of the Barker brothers?
Mr. May?
The legislation states that the DOD shall provide the list of names one time. We do not, and we have not in the past with other memorials, gotten into the business of vetting any names. So it won't be a collaboration. We will look to receive that list from them. And the legislation was written specifically this way to avoid the process that has been playing out at Vietnam, where people continue to want to add names to it. Now, there are reasons why names get added, and they do get added, but we rely on DOD to provide those names. We rely on the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Foundation to actually add the names. But, you know, again, because this was further in the past and the records were not as clear, we actually insisted on this being in the legislation to make sure that what we got was one list at one time, and that is what it will be. I just, I leave it up to DOD to make sure that it's correct. Got that?
So I'll give you an inference. If you were an Air Force bomber and you flew from some island that wasn't near Korea, but you were flying there, the Barker brothers would consider that a loss from the Korean War, even though they weren't in the battle area. And that's some of those boundaries and definitions that Department of Defense has to decide on to fulfill this list.
And so one more question. So at what point will the final list be
We have submitted,
Implement.
I'm not going to
I mean,
look to my fellow
I
commissioner
guess
to answer that.
I think the accuracy matters here,
Yes.
and so is it going to be, so are they going to deliver, they haven't made the list already final.
so our foundation has submitted 3 letters to the Secretary of Defense to provide the list of names to us. They still haven't provided us the list of names yet.
If we need to weigh in to try to push that along, certainly we would help push the Department of Defense to provide the list of names that they're required to provide under law. But I think that there will be time between now and when the memorial is constructed to get it all done and finalized. And, we can look at a draft list of names whenever that's ready or whatever, but we want to, at a certain point, we will want to have that final list, and that's what will be needed in order to construct it.
And one last thing, I swear. So in the design, is there adequate room for addition? If 20 years from now, it's discovered that DOD made a mistake and left a bunch of people out?
If I might say, I have advised the design team that even though the legislation says there'll be one list of names and one time, that you never know what the Congress may decide in the future. Right now, they are debating a bill that would add a significant number of names to the Vietnam
Right.
Memorial, and we don't have room for them.
Right, that's why I'm asking.
So I have advised them to make sure that we plan for some additional space.
Yeah, hard to know how much.
By the way, next month, we'll be
Because I
bringing
guess-
another memorial wall with names that needs to be
Exactly,
enlarged.
and then we'll have a billboard over, to the north, and,
Okay.
it's
We'll do everything we can to plan for that possibility.
We-
Okay.
This is outside of our control. We understand the process. Thank you for that, clarifying. I'd like to look for a motion to approve the comments on concept design for
so moved.
this memorial wall.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Lee. Good luck to you. We'll miss you. Okay, we have, thank you for all the beautiful exhibits. Very helpful. Hi, Brian. We have 2 information presentations to come. First up is a presentation on the plans by Johns Hopkins University for the building now used by the museum